Welcome to Always Monday Night with your hosts Tina Bae and Chris K.
Okay, how's everybody doing today? This is our very first show, Always Monday Night. Your host here is Chris K, and my lovely host here, Tina Bae. How you doing, girl?
I'm doing good. How are you, Chris?
Oh, I'm doing great. This is our first show. For everybody who's wondering why we call it Always Monday Night, is because if you are a big wrestling fan, wrestling was usually on Monday. And Tina and me talk about wrestling every day, so every day is always Monday, so it's always Monday night for us, so that's why we called it Always Monday Night. Talk about wrestling every day.
Right.
And nowadays, wrestling is on every day of the week except for what? Thursday and Saturday now? Like, geez, it's on every day.
Yeah.
Now, like back in the day, it's on every day now. So, yeah, just to give an idea, this show is for fans, by fans. Just let you know, me and Tina have not been in the business. You were in the business. I think you did take some lessons, though, right? Back in the days, you did say you
Yes,
took some
I did. 2 weeks of it.
took some bumps, and you were like, "Yeah, I'm done." Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So my story was when I was a kid. My she actually did it. When I was a kid, my mother came to me and said, "What do you want to be?" I want to be a wrestler. And she took me to the Police Athletic League in Philadelphia, where I live, and I walked in and saw a bunch of guys on mats, and I'm like, "This ain't wrestling. I'm not doing this." And my mom's like, "No, this is wrestling. This is how you start." I said, "No, no. There's no steel chairs. There's no referees. Where's the ring?" If I only knew then what I knew now. Brock
Right.
Lesnar, Shelton Benjamin, Dolph Ziggler, Kurt Angle, yeah.
Chad Gable.
Gable
Stevenson. Or whatever his
yeah.
name is.
I think Eddie Guerrero was also very famous in his amateur years too. I think Guerrero was actually pretty. Yeah, so if I knew then what I knew now, maybe I would have stayed with it. But unfortunately, I did not. So just to give you an idea, we're going to do, we'll have some fun. We're going to do some reviews, some news and notes. We're going to review certain things. We'll have certain topics over time. This episode is going to pretty much a couple news and notes, just little conversations about, and also we're going to be reviewing our and giving grades to the Wrestlemania. Wrestlemania was just this weekend, which was night 1 and night 2. And overall, what was your grade overall for Wrestlemania? What's your grade, Tina? What would you give the grade?
For both or for night 1, night 2?
Both together. What do you think for all of them? Just the whole thing.
I'd say a B minus.
B minus. I would probably be a B minus. I would probably be on a B minus. The problem I have with it is we haven't even talked about this, but my problem I have with this is like you could have made a one night event if you took a couple of those matches out that you didn't need.
Mm-hmm.
They really made it 2 nights for no reason. And I know they were doing a lot of the whole Stone Cold was all about oh yeah, bring Stone Cold in because they were trying to put those seats in. And it was just like, yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny. My sister and I used to watch it on Saturday mornings. It was called Saturday Day Superstars or something like that.
Superstars, yes.
Superstars. And then my sister one day surprised me with front row tickets to Superstars. And
yeah, my first memory is watching also Superstars. I watched a little bit of WCW, but wasn't really into WCW that much until I was in WWE. My very first memory of wrestling was watching Roddy Piper taking a little person, they call little people now, and shaving his head because he was a huge fan of Mr. T. And Piper and Mr. T, you find out years later, they did not like each other at all. Their heat was actually real. Oh yeah, their heat was real. They did not like each other at all.
So that wasn't kayfabe then.
Oh no, Piper did not like Mr. T. Piper was one of those old school kayfabe guys that did not want Mr. T in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't a big fan of having Muhammad Ali there either. But yeah, they weren't a big fan of that either. So that was my first memory, and that was Saturday Night Main Event was big, and I remember from Saturday Night Main Event was the two Hebners. With,
yes, the twin refs.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan was fighting Ted DiBiase, I believe, or Giant or somebody. And apparently Ted DiBiase had a wrestler made up look like the referee. A referee looked like the referee, and you find out years later it was actually Hebner's brother, which I think at first it was Dave Hebner. And then Earl Hebner took over, and the rest is history. So let's go into some news and rumors of this week, and I have an interesting one. That my girl, who I met and very nice, Sunny, Hall of Famer Tammy Stitch, known for her ring name Sunny, was allegedly responsible for the death of a 75-year-old man due to a car accident. Did you hear this? Yeah, this is crazy. According to TMZ, police in Omad Beach believe Stitch was under the influence of alcohol when she caused a car crash in Florida in February. Though a blood sample is still pending, though. The results will determine whether police pursue criminal charges against Stitch, who witnesses say was driving at a high rate of speed. I have met her, and she was very cool. I work in a restaurant, South Philadelphia, which is by the airport, so I met a few restaurants. She was very nice. She was very cool. But you see all the problems she has, and I meet her, I'm like, this is not the person, It's weird because she seemed very cool when I met her, but like she just got arrested a couple of months ago. Now it says this was in February. So according to the report I read today, they're still waiting for the blood sample. But the accident was in February. How long does it take for a blood sample? So yeah, like I don't understand that. But
I met her back in 1994 when she was doing the Body Donnas thing.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And she was really, really nice.
Yeah, she was nice. She is a nice.
Even as a heel, she came out and lost the kayfabe.
I met her. I think the last time the Rumble was in Philadelphia. She was in Philadelphia, which was like what 2019.
Yes.
I
believe so.
19 or 18. 19 or 18. I think it was 19. And a lot of because when you have these big events, they have other big events, like Dallas had everybody there in Dallas because when WrestleMania was, they had Wrestling Con and all of them were down there, and they had something in Philly because I also saw Al Snow, and it was funny because Sonny walked in and Al Snow was like really cool, and he walks by and goes, "That's Tammy Stitch." I was like, "Yeah, I know who that is, dude. I'm a man. I know exactly who that is. I know you ain't gotta tell me who that is." But yeah, she was very cool. She was very nice. She had a boyfriend with her. I don't know who the boyfriend was. I didn't recognize. I don't think he was a wrestler. If he was an indie guy. I didn't recognize him. I asked her, "Can we have a picture?" She said, "Fine." She said, "I don't do pictures. I do selfies." So she grabbed my phone and pulled me close to her, and she took a selfie. So I have a picture of it. She was very cool. But since then,
that's so cool.
Yeah, she was very cool. Very cool, very down to earth, very nice, but it's a shame because she has such a bad rap, man. She really does. Yeah. But we'll see. Hopefully this is hope it goes better for her. I really do. This is when I saw it. I actually saw this today and I was like, whoa. Okay. So the other thing I saw, do you like Edge's new stable? I must ask you. With Damian Priest.
It's interesting. What I do not like is his new intro music.
Yeah.
You think you know me? You never knew me.
Yeah. Dude, relax.
It's horrible.
Yeah, well, here's a funny thing I saw. So if you don't like it, you ain't got to deal with it too long. Because in an interview with Steven's Wrestling Journal, recorded in the late summer of 2021, Edge said he may well hang up his boots within a couple of years. Quote, "Won't be 10 years, definitely won't be 10. I doubt it'll be 5. It's going to be before that. I don't even think it was going to be 3. I don't know, but I don't think it's going to be that long. I know the window is small." He added that while it's exciting to be back and working with younger talent, he knows it won't last for long. And on top of that, per Fightful.com, more talent will soon join the pair. Names suggested so far include Tommaso Ciampa. I always pronounce Tommaso Ciampa and Rhea Ripley. Although there is no confirmation of either of them as of yet, but Rhea Ripley would make sense. The way it's going for her right now,
absolutely,
like you were saying, it makes sense because you're calling it like you're definitely saying she's going heel, and I think you're right. Mm-hmm. I could definitely see her next week.
I personally like Rhea Ripley as a heel more than I do as a face because she's got like that natural heel ability.
Well, the way she's built now, she's got some arms and some shoulders, so she can kind of go into that Nia Jax role. And obviously over time, she hasn't hurt anybody. So unlike Nia Jax, unfortunately, maybe she's more safe. So her being a heel makes sense. I wouldn't be surprised being a heel. And they need to do something with her because she's got a very special, unique look that they were showing on the pregame show. This girl in WrestleMania dressed just like her. They had her doing a stomp. Yeah, it was really cool. So she's got a following. So you definitely don't want to lose that. You definitely don't want to lose that and use it, because I think the women's revolution, the women's division is not like it used to be. I think they really did some. We'll definitely talk about it one show, but 3-4 years ago, the women's division was like, whew, almost better than males. It was
on fire.
Yeah, it was almost better than males, and now it's just like you're watching injuries. Also, it seems like you're watching the same stuff over and over again. Same people winning, same people going over, and it's like, as you're letting certain people that I don't talk to, I refer to as Ashley. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's Sarah Flair. I don't like the name that I don't like the fact that she's like her father, but that's a different story for a different day. The fact that they're constantly, her and Becky are constantly beating people. Becky came back and beat Bianca Belair in 32 seconds, 23 seconds.
Right.
Why am I supposed to get excited for them fighting again at WrestleMania when she already beat her in 23 seconds? Why am I getting excited for that? It was a great match. It was a good match. It was a nice match.
It was the best match on the card.
It probably was.
In my opinion.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was definitely up there. But yeah, it didn't make no sense to me to have that. So anyway, and one more report that came out, which is a little disturbing, but we're going to talk about it too. A new report has suggested that current NXT Tag Team Champion Nash Carter has been released by WWE following allegations of domestic abuse. Nash Carter and longtime tag team partner Wes Lee, collectively known as MSK, recently competed at NXT Stand and Deliver, emerged from the match, their triple threat match for tag team belts as their champions the second time in WWE career. The win, however, was overshadowed by serious allegations by Nash Carter's wife and pro wrestler Kimber Lee, which I like that name, who took to social media and shared disturbing accusations against Carter. Now, like I said, there was a picture on, I think it was Twitter, of a little fat lip. Apparently he shook her. But there's also a picture of him, which is very disturbing, of him doing the Nazi salute with the little Hitler mustache, which...
That's disgusting.
Boggles my mind.
That's just grounds for release right there.
That boggles my mind to even think about doing that.
WWE really needs to do background checks on their people instead of just saying, hey, you're a big guy, come on in, let's wrestle.
Yeah, it's very boggling the mind. Just boggles the mind. I just hopefully there's more to this that he doesn't. Hopefully there's more to this for himself. If not, it is what it is. I mean, if this is who you are, man, it's who you are. But I'm not defending this guy. But obviously there's some substance there. So obviously releasing him is probably not a bad idea, especially if he's definitely doing pictures of him as Hitler. Yeah,
they don't need the bad publicity.
That's not even that. Just like if you have a personality to even do that, it's like, if that's your personality to even do that, yeah,
disgusting.
Yeah, nah. I mean, I know it's bad. I know we really shouldn't talk about it because we don't really know the guy. I mean, obviously it's from reports so far. Hopefully, there's always two sides of every story. But the allegations that she can, obviously there's something there, so she wouldn't put it out there because obviously there's something there. She's not going to just put it out there just because. Like I say, somebody's not going to say something just because.
Right.
And the picture that was released, apparently they deleted it now. Apparently you can't. It was deleted now. But yeah, I saw the picture.
Oh wow.
Yeah, what's today? We're recording Wednesday. Yeah, I saw the picture like on maybe Monday, and I wasn't sure who he was. I'm not a big NXT fan now. I'm not. People don't talk good about NXT. But anyway. So that's
changed so much.
Yeah, the news for the weeks. So we're going to go into. Do you have a high for the week, girl? Do you have a high? What's your high point for the week?
Let's see. My high point for the week. I really like seeing Cody Rhodes come back to WWE.
Good. I was hoping
as the American Nightmare. I love it.
Yes, I thought that was.
I was really afraid they were going to push him into a gold suit again and call him Stardust.
I don't think he'll ever be in that suit again. Cause I think that's probably the first thing he said to him was like, "I'm not doing the suit. If you have any plans of me doing a suit, I'm not talking to you." But yeah, I think that was good. Yeah. And I'm going to do low. We're going to do highs and lows, and Tina's going to do the high, which she just did, and pun intended. You figure it out. I'm going to do lows weeks because I'm the negative one of the group, if you can tell. And you're going to find out real quick that I am the negative one. So lows of the week, I have two lows. One was I was very upset that Undertaker did not mention Mick Foley in his acceptance speech. How do you not mention Mick Foley?
especially when you
How?
almost killed him and housed in that big old cage.
And he mentioned all these other people, and I know most of the people he mentioned were there, which makes sense, except for Crush, which he said he was a big friend, close friend to. Unfortunately, he passed away. But like he even mentioned the Boiler Room match and all the matches he did. I'm like, come on, right there, should I tell you. And apparently, Foley's daughter came out and said something about like she was surprised. But then she kind of backtracked and said, well, then again, my father forgot to thank my mom in his speech. Which okay, but still, I was very, yeah, I was waiting for him to say it because I'm telling you right now, the moment you mentioned Mick Foley, he would have got the biggest pop of the night. Like that, people
Oh
were
yeah,
maybe that's why he didn't
that
say it. I don't know.
man.
Yeah. The other one I have is your personal favorite. Ready? What the hell is Ezekiel? What are you doing? Come on, man.
Ezekiel.
He walked out and I was like, I texted like, who is this? And I'm like, wait, is that Elias? And then I think Corey Graves says something like, that's Elias. I'm like, what the hell? I think Elias was Elias is probably one of the most over people they had in the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
But they wouldn't let him win anything. He didn't win any matches. He didn't win anything good. Like if this guy would win some matches, he would have been much, much bigger. Dude, the moment you hear the guitar, everyone went nuts. Crazy.
Even when he was a heel. And I think one of the things is they kept switching him back from face to heel. And people were confused. Maybe. Like, are we supposed to, yell for him or are we supposed to boo him?
He came out with
but I liked walking with Elias.
I love the walk. And the people, how they cheered, how loud they were. I used to try and show my wife. I used to show Casey. I'm like, listen to how loud they are. I never hear how loud they are. But walk with Elias. I'm like, oh my God. And then like I wasn't really watching at the time, and all of a sudden I heard it said like Elias is dead in 2020 or something like that. I'm like 2021. I'm like, what the hell is this? And then I'm like, I'm reading up on it. Like he's not released. And I said to you, I guess Elias is showing up on Monday after WrestleMania. And then this guy walks out. I'm like, he looks like a jobber from the 80s. He looks like a jobber, like somebody Undertaker beat in 3 seconds. I'm like, come on, man.
Job Squad.
You ruined. You took away one of our most favorite guys to just watch, just to have fun. When the lights and that guitar, so that guitar hit. We all got excited, and you took that away from us, and I don't know. That's a good thing. That just sucks. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. So next thing we're going to review WrestleMania. Now, you said overall score for the whole thing was, you said B-, and I kind of agree with that. Mm-hmm. I actually might put maybe a little less than B-, maybe, because I'm not too sure. Because there's a few matches on it I did not need to have, but that's a different story. So, what night did you like better, 1 or 2? Put you on a spot. Look at you. Which one was better?
1.
I think so too. I think 1 was 100 times better than night 2, and that's
yes. I agree.
I don't understand it. Why? That's just
the only match that I was invested in night 2 was the Universal Undisputed.
I don't really know what match I was more into on the second night, because the Universal match was pretty much what I was going to be. High points back and forth, and not a short match, which it was. It was only 12 minutes. But I really think night 1 was 10 times better. And we're going to go down to each match, and we're going to talk a little bit and give a grade to it. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So the very first match on night 1 that went 6 minutes and 55 seconds. I sound like the mortgage guy, but whatever. Inside joke for some people. Usos versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Boobs, whatever the hell you call his name, Boobs, who actually really got hurt. They saying that it was not storyline. I read that night. It was not storyline. So what's your grade? A, B, B-, C, F, D? What do you want? What do you got?
C.
C? I put a C+. Because it's Usos. You can't diss the Usos. I think if Boogs didn't get hurt, I think they might have had a little more fun in that match. It was only 6 minutes, so I think they would have gave some more time. So, yeah. Okay, so the next match, this was one of the matches that you probably did not need on WrestleMania. Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. Another match, and that was Drew McIntyre who did go over on Happy Corbin. I gave it a C. What do you think?
I gave it a D. I love Drew McIntyre. I love Drew McIntyre.
That's the only reason I gave it a
like
C.
you said, that was a filler.
Yeah, that's the only reason I gave it a C, because Drew McIntyre. I like Drew McIntyre. It's a shame that you finally have a WrestleMania with people in front of him and he doesn't have the belt. He didn't fight for the belt. He won the belt when it was COVID, which sucks for him. I really feel bad for him.
Yeah, I do too.
That was definitely a filler match. Soon you saw them fighting each other at Royal Rumble, which usually most matches at WrestleMania start building up to. You knew they were going to fight. You knew they were going to fight Royal Rumble. So at the Rumble, you knew they were going to fight at WrestleMania. So you knew that was going to happen. The next match went 11 minutes and 15 seconds. The Miz and Logan Paul versus the Mysterios. What rating do you give this match?
This is a tough one for me. I would give it a B. And the only reason why I give it a B is because I thought Logan did a really good job as a celebrity wrestling. He took the bumps. He jumped from the top rope. And then, we know what happened there.
Yeah.
Actually, I read an article. I can't remember where it was from, but I'll just summarize and not verbatim.
That's fine. Yeah.
I read an article that it took him 3 days to get jacked up. He did 100 sit-ups a day and 100 pull-ups a day.
Really? He had it.
Logan Paul. Yeah.
He doesn't look like that all the time. I thought he looked like that all the time. I didn't know that. Okay.
Nope. They showed a before and after picture, and he was all jacked up after 3 days. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta look for that. I gotta see that. Well, the thing is, what made me mad was there was like a TikTok video of Logan Paul jumping off the corner ropes in training with the Miz, and I'm like, well, you know what the finishing was going to be. Yeah, for giving us that away, knuckleheads. They really don't care about kayfabe no more. I'll tell you that. They shot that 10 times over in the last 10 years. But yeah, I only gave it a C+ only because I like celebrities at WrestleMania. I'm not a big fan of celebrities in WrestleMania. Logan Paul did pretty good. Bad Bunny did pretty good. Now, I'm going to tell you what I really feel about this, and I didn't think about it until I heard a certain person on their show. I'm going to mention the Racket guy. I'm not going to mention the name. The Racket guy. You know who I'm talking about. The Racket guy from the South.
Yes.
Okay. You know what I'm talking about. He made a good point about Bad Bunny. And same thing with Logan Paul. These guys work hard to be in there. That's fine. But you're fighting Logan Paul and Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny was doing backflips and what's that one move they do? The flip move that he did. I can't remember.
Code Breaker?
No, not Code Breaker. Something Canadian Destroyer, I think it's called. When they flip around, they flip over.
Destroyer, yeah.
Canadian Destroyer. I think Bad Bunny did that, and it's like, how can someone celebrity who's in its first match doing moves that guys been doing for years, and make it look like those guys been doing it for years? So you're kind of like making guys that have been doing it for 10 years, 20 years, and make it look like anybody can come in and do it. That's not good for them. And I feel bad. I was like, damn, he's right. I never thought about it like that. I was like, that does suck for the guys because it takes away from what they worked so hard from. Like I said, some of these guys, everybody on this list was probably in the Indies for many, many years before they even got the WWE. So those guys who work so hard do this stuff. These guys are doing it after one match, and it's like, yeah, I can see that's not good. But I gave it a C+ only because I was going to give it a C-. I gave it a C+ only because it was nice to see Logan Paul get the Miz finisher. So that was awesome. So yeah.
The skull crushing finale.
Yeah. I actually couldn't remember what it's called. Anyway, now the next match went 19 and 10 minutes, which it should have. Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. What's your grade, dear?
A.
I gave it A-. Definitely probably one of the better matches of the night. Probably one of the better matches of the whole WrestleMania. It's sad that we're talking.
I agree.
1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth match into WrestleMania out of 20 some, and we think this is the best match. It's pretty sad, but but it was best match. Becky brought it. Bianca Belair brought it. It was nice to see that it wasn't going to be a 23-second match, which I thought was ridiculous. I thought it buried Bianca. But this was definitely nice. Nice to see Bianca Belair win. Definitely deserves it. You definitely need.
Did you see that black eye that she sported
on Raw? I looked at that, and the way her eye was swollen, I was like, oh, that's not kayfabe. That's swollen.
No.
I was like, wow, yeah. Then the next match, the shock of the night. The one everyone was waiting for. Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. 21 minutes and 40 seconds. What's your grade?
B+.
Only a B? Really? Why? No A?
It was predictable for me. I knew he was coming.
Have you not watched?
I was happy.
Have you not watched WWE for the last 10 years? It's very predictable. But it was I gave it an A- because it was nice to see Cody Rhodes as Cody Rhodes, not Stardust. I couldn't stand Stardust. It showed that he was more mature to come back. Obviously, it's ka-ching, but we all know that. It's fine. But like, we thought it was. I thought it was a very good match. It did have like little points where it was just like, the fans being nostalgic with them, and kind of slowed down a little bit of the match. But other than that, I thought it was pretty good. It was nice to see him, and it was nice to see Cody Rhodes back in WWE. So it was nice to see. So I give it an A-. The next match. Go ahead. What?
Oh no, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it was good to see Cody Rhodes back, and I think Seth Rollins was the perfect opponent for him.
Absolutely, he was the perfect opponent. He definitely was. He definitely did a good job picking him, and how it led up to him. I thought was kind of weird because I don't understand how you have a match at WrestleMania and not produce it or advertise it. But it worked out pretty good. People were very happy to see him. The next match, Charlotte Flair, Ashley versus Ronda Rousey. 18 minutes and 30 seconds. Obviously a championship match. Obviously championship matches are going to go by 20 minutes, so that's fine. What's your grade?
I gave it a D+, only because it was very, very sloppy.
It was. I saw a lot of moves. Like there was one I can particularly remember, but I still gave it a B- only because it was nice to see Ronda Rousey back. It was somebody different. You didn't know if Ronda Rousey was going to win or not. Most of the time, these female matches that are going on, ladies matches, like who's going to win. Becky's going to win. Charlotte's going to win. I mean, you had a good feeling that Bianca was going to win. After how she lost it, they were going to give it back to her. You weren't sure especially when Becky lost, you weren't sure if they were going to have 2 losses for the women's titles. So that was the interesting part of it. But you're right. I still give it a B-. But
I still think they should have put it on night 2.
Yeah, they definitely should have put on night 2. Yeah, they should have definitely put some of these matches on night 2. But yeah, I remember one spot where they were on the ropes, they spun around, they fell down on the ground, and it was a tornado DDT. It looked more like a tornado end of day to me, the way they land down. Like, that wasn't a tornado DDT. What are you talking about? They seemed very rushed and stuff. It was I don't know. But Stone Cold versus Kevin Owens, it actually wasn't just a very squash match. This actually was a match. What's your grade for this?
I would have given it an A-.
A-? Really?
Yes.
I'm only giving it a B. Because every time Stone Cold hit the ground, the ref came over right on him asked if he was okay. I'm like, give the guy a break. Like, he just fell. And as much as it was fun to watch, you can see the limitations in Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Even though he looked good, he looked like he lost weight, got himself in shape. But you can still see some limitations in Stone Cold.
Yeah, his knees like they were bothering him.
His knees been bothering him for years, actually. But yeah.
Yeah.
But it was fun. He's like,
What?
What was that? What? Anyway. What? His knees was bothering him.
What?
His back's bothering him.
What?
Kicked his ass.
What?
Yeah. But yeah, you gotta have the what in there. But yeah, it was fun to watch to see him. But the reason what makes me mad is I'm pretty sure they brought him out just to make the money, and that's the only reason why I came back. And it was 19
He's a
years.
draw.
He was the draw. Especially, I mean, they really should have had him on night 2 because everything good was on night 1. I mean, before we even do night 2, like everything was good on night 1. But yeah, I love Stone Cold. I think Stone Cold, next to Undertaker, I think Stone Cold is one of the biggest guys in the last 25, 30 years. And he really helped them win the Monday Night Wars and really did everything for him. And it's a shame that he got hurt so early because he would have been great. But I'd rather him not done this last night or Saturday night. I really did. I'll be honest with you. I'd rather him just way he was. But then again, Kevin Owens built such a heel persona for him to come back. It was perfect. Like, I think he pissed off. It's amazing. It's amazing he got out of Texas. Let's put it that way. How bad he was. It's amazing he got out of Texas. And this was the old ECW. He went and got out, man. They were please.
No, they were. I remember when Hogan turned heel at Bash at the Beach, and all the fans were throwing shit at him.
Oh my god, yeah. That Mean Gene would talk about how he got hit in the face with a beer and start bleeding. It's like it's funny.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I
But
didn't
yeah, it
know
was
that.
well, I remember back in the days, the Dudley Boys used to say how they used to be heels and be afraid to leave arenas sometimes, man. When they were ECW, man, I seen them live, and like let me tell you, I don't really want to say half the stuff they were saying to the crowd, but I'll tell you. But yeah, I mean, Kevin Owens, he was perfect for it. I'll tell you that. The way he built up himself as a heel and the way he just kept dissing Texans left and right. Jeez, like good Lord. How the hell did he make out of Texas? I have no idea.
Probably had security.
So just for overall night one, what would you give the overall grade?
A B plus.
I would give it like almost a B plus, also maybe an A minus. But yeah, definitely night one was definitely better. But
the only matches that I didn't care for were the Happy Corbin.
Yes,
and I was excited for the Ronda Flair match, but the problem with that was it was just so sloppy. Yeah, that's why I gave it a D plus. It was really, really sloppy. There was for Ronda to get pinned by a big boot from Charlotte.
Yeah, like
what is up with that?
No one loses the finishes anymore. Like what the hell? Like you had the finishes for a reason. This is what you're famous for. This is why I played the wrestling game, because I want to give somebody a Dan Claymore. What the hell? Like this makes no sense.
Exactly.
I mean, I understand that she had to break. They had to make him better. Was that Ronda had to break out of the figure eight? But I mean, like, still, like, come on, man. Like,
I thought that was pretty cool that she's like the first person to ever break figure eight.
Yeah, Drew's apparently the first person to ever the kick out of End of Days too in that match.
Yes,
I did not know that.
Yes.
Let's move on to night 2 of WrestleMania. Okay, so let's go down to the matches like we were doing for the first night. The first match for night 2, RK Bro versus Street Profits versus Alpha Academy. 11 minutes and 30 seconds. What's your grade for this one?
I would give it an A minus. I think it was the best match on the card for the night. The first curtain jerking. I think that's the word you use, curtain jerker. Curtain jerking. Yeah, the first curtain jerker.
What the hell's a curtain jerker?
It's the first match of the night. They call it curtain jerking.
Is it really? I had to look that one up. I never heard that one. I gotta look that one up. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Learn something.
For being a curtain jerker.
You're learning something.
It was a really good match.
Learning something new on Always Monday Night. We're here to educate you as well, because I never heard that. I know what the popcorn match is. The most boring match where everybody can go take a leak, and yeah, I know what you're talking about. So you gave it an A minus. Okay, I only gave it a B plus. I'll tell you why. I was hoping for RK Bro to lose. Not that I don't like him. I just wanted something different. Yeah, I see you look, but I wanted something different. I wanted Street Profits to win. I really did. You know, I really voted for. You know, I really thought they were going to win. I really thought they were going to start off with them. And I think you even mentioned when we were watching that you thought Street Profits were going to turn heel on them.
I did. I really, really did. I thought they were going to turn heel.
So I thought after that, I thought maybe not going to turn heel. But then if they didn't turn heel, they weren't going to win the belts. But for them to win the belts, they probably would have had to turn heel. And from the looks of it, the way the match ended, I don't think they're ready to turn them heel yet. But I was like, I really wanted them to win. I thought they were going to win just to be like the swerve of WrestleMania. But you know.
Are you ever not going to fall for that?
No, I'm never not going to fall for that. I'm never not going to fall for that. So yeah, RK Bro, I gave it a B plus. The only reason why I gave it a B plus because there's a lot of like those high spots that it did, which were really good. They're really fun to watch. But how many times you gonna see Montez Ford jump over the ropes? You know what I mean? How many times you gonna see?
Right.
I mean, it's awesome.
And how many times you gonna see an RKO?
Well, the thing is with the RKO, no, I wasn't gonna say about the RKO. Say you jumped ahead because the RKO.
Sorry,
no, that's fine. I'm only joking, but it's the RK Bro. I don't mind because he changes up so much. They changed it up how it is, and the best part about the RK Bro was when Riddle did it on Montez Ford, and he had a sort of like he knew it was coming. I was just like, that's hysterical. and he still
Yeah.
hit him, and then Randy hit
Gable, was
thank
it?
you. I forgot his name. Chad. Yeah, Gable. But yeah, I only gave it a B plus. Okay. It was also 11 minutes and 30 seconds, which I was surprised. I thought it'd be a little longer.
Yeah, I could have went longer.
It could have went longer. It really could have with them in it. But now that
it almost to me, I just want to make a real quick comment. It almost to me was like a fireworks display.
Yeah.
Like you start off and then it gets a little slow and then it's like bang, bang, bang. Everybody's sitting there finishing maneuvers.
Well, the other thing is, I remember hearing from people in the business that they want to start the show with a good, fun match, get people hype. So I guess that's the only reason why RK Bro won, because everybody loves RK Bro. It's good. And Randy was on Pat McAfee's show the other day and he's saying how much he loves doing wrestling again. So he's loving having fun with Riddle.
That's awesome.
So, so he's loving working with Riddle. So obviously that's not going to end anytime soon. I just hope they don't do the same BS we do with every tag team. They got to fight each other to end it. Just end it. Don't just end it. Don't do that rivalry.
Shake hands, walk away, and then Randy can give Riddle the RKO.
You don't have to do that with every tag team. You don't. I know it's like tradition, but okay. Next match.
Blah 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 dee blah blah.
Bobby Lashley
Popcorn
versus almost a popcorn. No, it wasn't fast enough to be a popcorn match, but no, the popcorn match came on later on, but it definitely wasn't enough time for you to even go to the popcorn stand. We'll get to that. Hold on. Bobby Lashley versus Omos. 6
I don't think I watched that match. I think I got up and actually went to the bathroom.
It was I think it was on, but I think I was playing a game on my phone. Because I'll be honest with you. I think I was playing a game. I was playing what the hell did I play my World Match? There's a free plug for whoever listening. World Match I was playing on my phone. Because you knew Bobby was going to win. You knew that Omos was being built for Bobby to come back to make him. Omos was beating everybody to make him look good. So when Bobby comes back and beat him, then Bobby looks good. That's what that was.
Yeah.
And obviously after what happened on Raw, you see that was going to build into something more. But
he's green though. He's greener than a banana. Not a banana, but a plantain.
What did I say? He's more greener. He's so green. He's neon. What did I say?
Yes, he's so green that he's neon. Yeah. Feel the glow.
Yeah, feel the glow. Yeah, feel the glow. Yeah. It's just. I don't know. But I still gave it a C- only because it was interesting to see almost whatever his name is lose. Right. But yeah, there were 6 minutes and 35 seconds you didn't know the show. But anyway,
I'm gonna give it a grade, and you're gonna be surprised. I almost
forgot to ask it. Go ahead. What's your grade? Go ahead. What's your grade?
An I for incomplete.
That's interesting. Yeah, I heard you. That's an interesting grade. I like that one. We're doing incompletes. I like that one. Did not expect that one. There's a swerve for you.
We're not just pass and fail, baby.
Yeah, we're not just pass and fail. You need to finish it off. Well, maybe they will. Maybe they'll build something into nice now that MVP's with them. Maybe that would help out. Because MVP is great as a manager. He's got a really cool look, man. He looks like the 2022 version of what was his name? Slick Rick. Was that his name? What was his name? No, not Slick Rick. What the heck was his name?
I was thinking of The Godfather.
Not The Godfather. The manager from back in the 90s. What the heck? I can't remember. Oh, this is me not being prepared for the show, folks. I'm so sorry. I think it was Slick Rick or Slick something. Oh, I gotta look it up now. But yeah, he reminds me of a very modern day version of him, but much, much better. I think MVP being that manager is awesome. I think it's very cool to have. The Hurt Business.
I think he's way too old to be in the ring, like wrestling. I think he's a great manager.
Yeah, but I think he's hurt. I think he had like a career-ending injury. I think
he did.
I can't remember what it was though. I think there was something because he was pretty.
It was his leg.
Was it his leg?
It was ACL, I think.
Maybe
because he was using a cane for a long. Is he still using a cane?
He had the cane. I'm almost positive he had the cane coming out. I'm almost positive he had the cane. Yeah, I think you're correct. He had the cane.
Probably tore his ACL. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, you gotta look that up. Yeah. Okay.
That's what Bailey did.
Is that why Bailey was out? ACL?
Yeah,
ACL. Been out for
almost
a year. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's one of those injuries that takes a while. But okay. Next match. Ready? Mm-hmm. If you can call this a match. Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn. 14 minutes and 25 seconds.
of insane silliness.
Yes. What's your grade on this one?
I would give it a C minus.
You know what? I was going to give it a D, but I'm going to give it a B minus because it was funny as shit.
It was funny. It was funny.
It was funny. It was stupid. It was all the dumb stuff. I kind of feel bad for Sam. I'm not a big fan of Sami Zayn. I like Sami Zayn. I love Sami Zayn. But him as a heel with his conspiracy theory just gets annoying after a while.
Yes.
There's a difference between annoying heels that you want to watch their ass get beat, and a difference between one who's so annoying you want to change the channel.
Exactly.
Sami Zayn is starting to get to the point where I just want to change the channel. The whole conspiracy theory stuff, him whining, it's just starting to get a little annoying.
He needs a new shtick.
He does need a new stick. He can still be a heel, but he definitely he's definitely gonna be a heel. But the whole conspiracy theory, come on, get over it.
Exactly.
Also,
I feel bad for him that he has to listen to that from the writers.
The other thing is that I felt bad for when I was watching and when I thought about all I kept thinking about when he was, especially when he lost, all I kept thinking about was Bam Bam Bigelow and Lawrence Taylor. When Bam Bam put over Lawrence Taylor.
Yes.
And the sad part is
Bam Lawrence, sorry, go ahead.
Couldn't even walk out of the ring when the match was over, and he put him over. That's a shame. Yeah. I remember Bam Bam going to ECW and bitching about that, complaining about one of his promos. Like, he goes, I was told to cooperate. He was saying cooperate. I was here to cooperate for this. When he said, fight Lawrence Taylor, I cooperated. He goes, I ain't cooperating no more. I remember him having a promo like that in ECW when we went to ECW.
He carried him through that whole match. Lawrence Taylor had no clue what he was doing.
And he couldn't. I remember them. I almost vividly remember him bringing up. I was going to watch it, so I remember, but I'm almost positive they were carrying him up to the stage, and like Salt and Pepper were holding him up as they're singing to him. And I'm like, this guy's in a match? Like, come on. That's all I kept thinking about. But this, I mean, obviously, I assume Paramount, whoever did the movie, is paying some big bucks for some advertisement. So that's why the match happened. It was kind of entertaining, goofy, dumb, but I mean, it's entertaining. It went for almost 15 minutes. That's crazy. Over 14 minutes it went. That was crazy. Okay. So the next match only went 10 minutes and 50 seconds, which I'm surprised. Do you know what match I'm talking about?
Nope.
No.
I didn't time them.
Well, technically neither did I, but don't say anything. The internet's a beautiful thing. Thank you, Al Gore. Anyway, there's political joke. I'll get in trouble for that one. Anyway, Sasha Banks, Naomi versus Carmella and Queen Zelina versus Rhea Ripley and Liv and versus Natalya and Shayna Baszler. How this was only a 10-minute match, I have no idea. This match could have been on a lot longer. Especially
at least 15 to 20.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Especially when you have all these other matches. When Cody Rhodes match went for over 21 minutes, like, come on, like, this is a chance. You finally put a nice spin on the female tag team titles where people are interested in, because they brought these titles out and it just no one cared. And the only thing that was right, I think, was Bailey and Sasha were the first ones to win it, right?
Yes, and then they lost it to
they lost it to somebody, but
Iconics.
Yeah,
to your girl Peyton.
Every time I see her, I'm like, yeah, right. Every time she comes on the screen, woohoo! Let's do that again.
She is really pretty.
Anyway, Casey Lee now, her name is. She's known as Casey Lee, but Peyton. But it's funny because he put the belts on them, and then the whole talk about, they're going to split up. And it's like, whatever. But, but I was very surprised. I gave it a B- because it was interesting. It was fun. I kind of liked the fact that Carmella and Queen Zelina lost the titles. They would have kept the titles, I would have been pissed.
Yeah.
But they lost the titles. I would like to see Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. I wanted them to win, but of course...
Are you ever not going to fall for that?
No, of course. They give me a curveball and they give me somebody else. And but Sasha Banks and Naomi, I thought was good. It's be fun to have them with the belt, so I thought it was good. Especially how popular Sasha Banks is. Yeah, definitely. So what do you think?
My grade would definitely. I agree with you on that as a B-. Like we were just talking about Sami Zayn, where you have those heels where you want to change the channel.
Yeah,
Carmella is one of those, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
She annoys. I loved her as
Correctamundo. Absolutely.
Correctamundo. I don't like the whole beautiful woman in the entire world shtick.
She's not.
Her making out with Corey Graves made me nauseous.
It's ridiculous.
It is, and I think
Sports
that
entertainment. That's what they call it. Sports entertainment. Yeah, come on, dude. The sports entertainment just like damn right ridiculous.
we don't need a softcore porn.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. This is like almost porn. I'm like, yeah, I turned it off. I ain't watching this.
All you see is tongues, and it's like,
yeah. Like, but remember, don't worry, because WWE is based for family now. It's
family.
It's for the children. Even though every pay-per-view don't end till fucking midnight.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
I am personally glad though that they split WrestleMania up into 2 nights.
Yeah, but
it used to be like an 8-hour show.
Oh yeah, I remember one year it was like it started at like 6. I think it started.
Yeah, and it didn't end until like 2 a.m.
With the pregame show, like matches on the pre, and it ends after midnight. Because at the time, one of my wife's Casey, my wife's friend's son would come and watch with us. And it went to almost like 12:30 in the morning, and I'm like, this kid's gotta go to school tomorrow. My wife literally picked him up in the car, take him home. Like, you gotta go home. And we're like, we told his mom, she didn't care, but we said, well, I didn't know it was gonna be that long. Like, I really didn't know it was that long. But yeah, but then again, like you gotta get to the point where when we're done. Like some of these matches you didn't need. But anyway, we'll get to that at the end. Okay. And Natalya and Shayna Baszler, I like them both, but them together, no.
It doesn't seem right. It should be Shayna and Ronda together, to be honest with you, and they should go after the tag team titles. I like Shayna Baszler, and I don't like what Vince has done with her. She should have had a championship by now.
You brought her, like it was a couple years back, you put her in the Elimination Chamber and kicked the crap of all the females.
She beat everybody up.
And she still lost at WrestleMania. Like, come on. You gave her the build, but then you go to like, no, stop burying everybody. I'm sick of these people getting losers.
Exactly. I feel bad for the people who come up from NXT. I mean, when you look at it, there's only a couple who's been really successful, like Riddle. Riddle's been very successful since coming up from NXT. Street Profits.
In the last couple of years, yeah. Now, back in days, almost the whole roster was NXT. You remember something like Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, right? From NXT. And they did. That's when, Triple H was in charge. Now it's like Bruce Pritchard and somebody else is in charge, and you got a Steiner called Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
What? What? Yeah, that's why I don't watch NXT. When you start calling him Steiner, I'll watch NXT.
Right.
But, yeah. The next match, which was the match probably everybody was waiting for. I don't know about me, but anyway. Edge versus AJ Styles. 24 minutes and 5 seconds. All right, Tina, what do you think? Tell me what you think, girl.
I'd give it a C+ only because it went way too long.
I still gave it a B+ because of the star power, mostly because of the star power. Mm-hmm. It definitely was good to put these two in there. Definitely these guys did not have anything going on. They put something pretty cool together real fast. They put Edge a little too far with that stuff, but it was pretty good to put them together. Pretty good build for like the only couple weeks they had before, so that's what I like. But yes, that match went over at least 5 minutes way too long. 5 minutes.
Yeah, I agree. It was a long match. I found myself kind of like looking at my phone.
Yeah, and then the finish was just a little
wonky.
Just a little. I don't want. Like I said, I'm not in the business, so I don't want to diss them. But like I said, as a fan, it looked kind of lazy. You could have more fun with him interfering with the match for him to lose than him just standing there like, "What are you doing here? Oh my god! Oh, I got speared. I lost." No, you lost to a spear that you probably got. Maybe you already got speared a couple times, right? Just like Ronda Rousey, she
big
breaks out of the whatchamacallit and loses to like bro kick. Like, come on, man! Like it's just like I don't know. Anyway.
All that training with Shayna Baszler did not pay off. She didn't prepare her for the big boot that is called.
No, I guess
Ashley.
apparently not. Yeah, I guess not. I mean, I guess they wanted to open up the door for something else, hopefully. But anyways, I'm pretty sure they're going to open the door some more with Edge and AJ Styles. Like you can see a little bit more on Raw, hopefully. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
Even though no one likes the stable,
We don't care. We don't care. I'm gonna see if I can get a.
It could have been just the audience too, because I know I've seen like different Raws where I don't know if you remember this Raw, but Finn Balor had won the Intercontinental Championship. I think it was in Louisiana. I think it was Fayetteville, Louisiana.
Maybe, yeah. Fayetteville? No,
And
Fayetteville's in Carolina, I think. So go ahead, yeah.
well, wherever it was,
wherever
it was
it
in
was,
Fayetteville.
okay.
That's all I remember. Is in Fayetteville. He comes down to the ring. He pulls off his jacket. You know, he does his whole shtick.
Yeah.
And he's like, it is so exciting to be here with this title. And like nobody said a word. Everybody just kind of sat there and were like,
Did somebody
tough crowd.
I saw a headline, but I didn't read it, saying somebody from like a Hall of Famer or somebody, a legend, a WWE legend, is like, what are they doing with Finn Balor? Why does he have the? It said, why does he have the title? Why not? Like, he's actually, come on.
Right. He's a good wrestler.
Yeah, he's good. He's funny. He's got his entrance is awesome. His entrance is awesome. I love his entrance, but yeah.
I liked it when he was a heel in NXT.
I heard. Well, apparently he was actually one of the members of the Bullet Club.
Yes.
Yes, that big famous over in Japan. Yeah. Well, before all that, like, I didn't really see Too Sweet till later on when they NWO kind of like gave him permission in that Raw 25th anniversary. But he was like, I think his name was Prince Hakeem or something like that, Hakia or something like that. Yeah, his name was Prince Hakeem or something like that in Japan. That's why they call him Prince now. I mean, when you look on the screen behind, it says Prince. Yeah, Prince Valor. Yeah. His name was Prince Hakeem or something like that. I gotta look it up, but I knew it was Prince. So yeah, but we'll see. Okay,
Prince of Darkness.
Speaking of darkness, perfect darkness. This match should have been a dark match. I don't know why this match was on. I know why it was on, because they wanted to do a little thing because of what happened to Big E. But 1 minute and 40 seconds, not enough time to get popcorn for the popcorn match. Sheamus.
I didn't even see it.
Sheamus versus Ridge Hall. Yeah, I think you did ask me. Yeah, I think you did say versus New Day.
No, I didn't see that one. I got up probably to go pee and get some popcorn.
And it was over. Yeah, it was over. It was over. Yep. Sheamus and Ridge Hall won. I give this one a D. Only because
I give it an I.
Okay, that makes sense. I give it a D only because I didn't want to give an F. I didn't want my first grade system. I didn't want to give anybody an F, so I gave it a D. I thought this did not need to be on the show. This could have been a pre-show, definitely a pre-show match. Absolutely a pre-show match.
It wasn't even a match. It was a squash.
Yeah, it was a squash. And Pete Dunne, what you told me was Butch, but I didn't realize it was Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
You told me later on, well, that's Pete Dunne. Where's Pete Dunne? He said Butch. I'm like, that's Pete Dunne? And then I realized, oh my God, it's Pete Dunne. Why would you do that?
Yeah, when he takes off his hat, he has his hair in a man bun.
Yeah, you told me that. I was like, it is. And I looked at the face. I'm like, oh my God, that is Pete
He
Dunne.
looks different with the hat on because he always had his hair long.
I didn't notice it. And him kept interfering. And I'm like, dude, what's going on? I was so confused. I'm like, whatever. I was very disappointed. So that's 1 minute 40 seconds. I could have took off the show. You could have done
a minute and 40 minutes of my life.
Yeah, 1 minute 40 off the show. Another 5 minutes off for Edge. That's like 6 minutes. If you took the Drew McIntyre match off, that's another 12 minutes. If you took the Bobby Lashley off match, that's almost 20 minutes taken off the show. Like, you could have really, I don't know. That's just me. So, the main event on Saturday night, which I think is the main event on Saturday night, because the way that crowd was, this seemed like the main event. Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory.
That was a good match.
That crowd went nuts for Pat. That was fun. And the reason why I'm not going to diss Pat, because he's actually trained for a while. He always wanted to be a wrestler. Mm-hmm. And he did a few matches in NXT. So not like Logan Paul or Bad Bunny coming in. He's actually done some matches in NXT, which I didn't know until I watched the Triple H interview with Stephen A. Smith when he retired. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had a thing with Adam Cole, I believe it was.
Is that what it was? Yeah, they showed.
I think so.
This match went for 9 minutes. It actually went for 9 minutes. 9 minutes and 40 seconds. It's actually longer than some of the other matches on the show, which I thought was funny. This is actually longer than the Drew McIntyre match. It's longer than the Bobby match. I mean, it's way longer than the Sheamus and New Day match. So it's interesting. The women's championship match only went maybe almost a minute longer, which is funny if you think about it. Look at it. Yeah, thinking about it, that's weird that the women's match was only a minute longer than a commentator versus a wrestler. I give this one a B minus. I thought it was good. I thought Pat did very well. I thought Austin worked with him very well, made him look good, and I think both of them worked very well together. And I think it was a good build up, and it was a funny build up. And that last build up before the show when he kicked in Vince's door and Vince came out and yelled at him, I thought that was awesome. I thought that was going to be like a swerve. Maybe he's going to turn on Austin Theory, but once again,
Are you ever not going to fall for that?
he didn't turn on him, and so yeah, I was saying, oh, he's going to turn on him. He's going to turn on Austin Theory, and then all of a sudden, this old man is taking off his shirt. I'm like, what the hell am I watching now? So, Pat McAfee versus Austin. What do you think about this match, girl?
I gave it a B. I really like this match. I like Pat McAfee. I think he's funny as hell.
Yeah.
I would say, I'm trying to put this in words here. Oh, I would be honored to take a stunner from Stone Cold Steve Austin. So I think that was like a highlight of, I mean, everybody got stunned.
Yeah. And not to get into the next match, because the next match is the McMahon match. So get into the McMahon match part, because I actually put that down too as a separate match. McMahon versus McAfee. That was at 3 minutes and 45 seconds. That was still 3 times longer than the Sheamus match for those at home taking notes. I gave the McMahon and McAfee match a D. I didn't want to give an F the first time, because if you really look at it, it's McAfee doing all the work for him. He just stood there, and it was really, come on, this kid. You give this kid a win at WrestleMania, and then make him sell for the boss. And obviously, if I was McAfee, I'm like, hey, I'm going to get a win at WrestleMania. Yeah, you're going to get a win, but I got to beat you up afterwards. I don't give a shit. I got to win at WrestleMania. I don't care. So I probably would be the same way, because like those clotheslines were ridiculous. How he literally he was literally just running into the clotheslines. I understand, but going to your stunner, the funniest part of all 2 nights was after he took the stunner, did a pretty good job selling the stunner, like the boss did. What the hell happened to him? Looked like he had like a heart attack in the middle of him just kicking him in the stomach. I don't know what the hell happened there. And the fact that because it was so bad, Austin couldn't stop cracking the hell up afterwards. They took a shot of Pat McAfee on the ground right in front of the commentators, and he's sitting there just pouring a beer in his mouth like he's half knocked out. I was like, that is the picture of the night, guys. That's the best one of the night. So
I give the Vince match a D as well. I thought Austin Theory was a highlight. I think he's very talented. I think he's a good-looking kid.
Yes.
He sold that stunner so well.
Yeah.
I mean, his whole body went up in the air. It was kind of like circa 2014 with Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was 2014, but I was just.
I know what match you're talking about. Oh, it was around. I don't think it was 14. I think it was a little earlier than that. I think it was like around maybe 2008 or something like that. Maybe I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what match you're talking about.
I wasn't watching it, but I've seen it. You know, I took a break from 2003 to 2016.
I took.
So I've seen like bits and pieces on YouTube.
It's been talked about many times. People have talked about over and over again about him overselling for Hogan and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yes.
Like I think when he dropped the boot on him, he jumped up in the air, ran around the ring, and fell back down on the ground. Like, come on, dude. So yeah. But I
heard Hogan's very hard to work with, but that's for another day.
Yeah, I say there's another topic for you. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big fan of Hogan. I liked him as Hollywood Hogan.
I'm not either.
I liked him as Hollywood Hogan. It was nice. It was different. He was fresh, but we can talk about that because I'll explain the status of wrestling is my NWO curse, and I'll explain that some other time in some other episode. But yeah, that's how I feel about wrestling. Wrestling, to real quick, the NWO situation was you had the NWO and then you had the rest of the roster, and the rest of the roster wasn't allowed to compete with the NWO. I think that's a lot nowadays in wrestling. Like you can't compete. The rest of the roster can't compete with Charlotte Flair, can't compete with Becky Lynch, can't beat Roman Reigns. It's like they're a tier and the rest of the other tier, and it's like you don't have nobody to beat that tier. That's what happened with WCW. They're
painting themselves into a corner.
You had all these other guys in WCW that actually end up being champions: Rey Mysterio, Chris Benoit, Booker T, Eddie Guerrero. All these guys that were in the mid cards, which people were watching, didn't go against Hogan, Hollywood Hogan. What you did was you brought in Ultimate Warrior, you brought in Roddy Roddy Piper. You got all these talents right here, and at the point you had nobody to fight the NWO. And what pisses me off to this day, I know we're getting off topic, but this is what pisses me off in this day. I'm going to have a better conversation before, but you finally had a stable to fight the NWO, and what was it? Oh, the NWO. The Wolfpack.
Yeah.
Anyway. Now, the main event. The take it all. The winner takes all. The greatest WrestleMania event of all time. Main event. Are you effing kidding me? Who the thought that up? Are you serious?
Vince.
Fucking Jesus, man. God almighty. Anyway. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. 12 minutes and 12 seconds. You know that wasn't.
That will never get back.
Yeah. There's 12 minutes. Can I sue for that time? You know, time is money. What's your grade on this?
I would say a C minus.
C.
I'm being generous when I say a C minus.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say a C because it was a lot of high spots. A lot of their little high spots, and once again, it's all it is when it comes to these big guys. With Brock, it's 5 F5, 7 spears, 3 Superman punches, another 4 spot. It's the same thing every time they fight. I give it a C. Actually, I was gonna give it a B, but I'll give it a C. I give it a B more because the build-up was so different. They did a good job building this matchup because people didn't want to see this again, but the way they set it up. The way they had it set up with Brock being the babyface, and he was great, man. I loved him as a babyface. He was funny.
I do
as hell.
too. I think he has broken out of his mold.
Yeah,
and I think he's a great babyface.
Yeah,
and he's not really a babyface. He's kind of he walks the line of being a babyface.
Yeah, because he's being a jerk to the heel. He's being a heel to the heel. But to everybody else, he's still he's being a babyface. But the thing that I can't stand about this one match is the one thing is I cannot stand was you have a belt unification title, which means you're probably going to bring back the undisputed title, which means you're probably going to have to be on both shows. A wrestler in the last 10 years has pretty much been part-time. You think they're going to give that belt to him?
No.
So I knew Brock wasn't going to win. You knew Roman was going, because the other thing is you're not going to build Roman as much as you did, as high as you did, as crazy as you did, and all of a sudden, he loses in his biggest match of all time, WrestleMania. I'm putting quotes in the air, and you're going to have him lose. You're not going to destroy. You're not going to bury him that way, which is smart. Which is actually smart. I actually, as a fan and knowing from listening to a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, that it's actually is smart because you don't want to bury Roman Reigns just yet, because. Brock is not going to be a full-time wrestler. He's still going to be a part-time. I mean, he didn't even show up at Raw. Who knows if he's going to show up for SmackDown? I didn't say anything about SmackDown yet for tomorrow. We'll see what happens.
Right. He's licking his wounds in Saskatchewan.
Or I should say Friday. It's not on Thursday. It's Friday. So we'll see. Friday, not tomorrow. I was not excited. I think you said when we were talking about this was the only match we were excited for. I wasn't excited for this match at all. I really wasn't.
I was, but I was let down.
Yeah, I'll bet you were, because I was. I know it's just because you knew who was going to win. The best matches of all time is you don't know who's going to win, or the person the person who you don't think is going to win is going to win. The greatest time ever in the history of WWE, the greatest thing they ever did was that 4-man championship for the undisputed title, when you had Kurt Angle, The Rock, Stone Cold, and Chris Jericho, and who came out on top? Chris Jericho. Nobody had that. Nobody thought that was going to happen. Not one person thought it was going to happen. Nobody.
I love Chris Jericho.
I love Chris Jericho. I think he's great. What's your grade for night 2? Just night 2.
That's a loaded question. C minus.
I was going to say the same thing. C minus. Maybe even a D+.
It was bad.
Maybe a D+ because it was some fun matches, but for WrestleMania, there was no big
marquee matches.
Yeah, except for maybe there was only maybe 3 matches that had good build up, and that was Pat McAfee's match with Austin. The Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar match had a good build up because obviously that was right. And the other good build up was probably Edge and AJ. The rest of the matches they were set up good, but not a big build up. So
I was disappointed. I think some of night 1 should have been on night 2 and vice versa.
Absolutely.
They did a clusterfuck.
The Bobby Lashley should have been on night 1 pregame, and the Sheamus Ridge Hall should have been on night 2 pregame. One women's titles match should have been on night 2.
It was predictable. That's when Bianca Belair won.
Yeah, I mean, out of I put on the our Facebook always Monday Night Facebook page. I put on my predictions real fast, and I think I only got 4 wrong out of all of them, maybe 5. I gotta look
really?
Yeah, I think I only got 4 wrong. Because some of them were so predictable. Like, you knew Drew was going to win, you knew Usos was going to win. The Bianca I was a little surprised about. I was happy she won.
I was too. I'm happy she won too.
I think I actually picked Lynch. I think that was one I got wrong.
I thought Lynch was going to win too.
Yeah, I actually thought they were going to screw over Bianca again, but I'm glad I didn't. That was good. I actually put whoever Seth fights is going to lose, so I got Cody Rhodes for that one. I thought Ronda was going to win. I really thought Ronda was going to win. That didn't happen, so they reversed them. Stone Cold obviously involved Stone Cold. I didn't really know this match. RK Bro I had right. Lashley I had right. I think I had Sami Zayn beating Knoxville. I think I had Sami Zayn beating Knoxville.
Really?
I think I had
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I gotta look at it.
I couldn't see
I
that.
just wrote it down real quick because right before first night started. I just wrote it down on the page real fast. Our Always Monday Night Facebook page. That eventually we're gonna put more content on as soon as we get more stuff going on. I had the Edge. I knew Edge would win because you had to have Edge win because you got to keep that new heel persona going because you're not gonna be a big heel for 3 weeks and lose. No, that's not gonna happen. I picked this. I think I got the Sheamus match right because I only thought like it was too easy to put New Day to win. It would have been too easy for them to win. So Pat McAfee, I think I had Austin Theory actually.
Really?
Yeah, I think I had Austin. I think I said Austin.
I knew Pat was gonna win.
Or did I say Pat? I gotta look at it. I can't remember. But yeah, I had only had like 4 or 5 wrong. 4 wrong maybe. And Rome I knew was going to happen because Brock is not going to be a full timer. If you have both belts, you have to be in both shows. There was time when Brock had 1 belt and he was on 1 show and he still was on the damn show for a while. It was the most annoying thing ever. How you have your champion not on your show makes no sense.
Yeah.
None. Anyway, so WrestleMania is done. So then we got the Raw after WrestleMania, which I thought was pretty good. I mean, let's do a little rundown real fast before we say goodbye to everybody. I thought it was pretty good. It was interesting. They did some nice stuff in there. Like we talked a little bit about some of the things that happened. I was really surprised of, as well-known wrestling fans like ourselves and been watching this as long as we have, we should have seen that MVP hitting Bobby Lashley. I did not see that.
Oh, yeah. That I had this weird feeling, but I didn't think it would happen right away.
Yeah.
It did. I didn't think it was going to go down the way it did.
As soon as that happened, I texted like, we should have saw that one coming. We lost our edge. We all should have known that was coming. And I don't know. I mean, like I was saying before, I don't like Omos. I think he's very green.
I can't stand him.
Yeah, he's very green. He's on the mic. He's actually said a few good, cool sentences to build up. So he actually worked some. He actually was pretty cool. But if he's on a program with somebody and you're doing promos all the time, I don't think he'd be able to do very well. Keep doing his promos. So giving him a mic might help him. But I mean, you say Kevin Nash only had 3 moves. I mean, how many moves does this guy have? Like he has nothing.
None.
And you work.
He doesn't even know how to bump. He doesn't even know how to bump properly.
He doesn't bump. He doesn't. How many bumps have you had? Like
I think he's had 2 bumps.
Yeah, like it's just so. And then it's just like I understand what he did with Bobby Lashley, so Bobby Lashley can come back and look like he's beating the big giant, make him look good, and bring him back as a baby face, which is fine. But yeah, I was very disappointed. I didn't see that coming. We should have saw that coming. Oh my god, we should have saw that coming.
Kind of off topic, but on topic at the same time about Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
The thing that cracked me up the most in Elimination Chamber was when Austin Theory was taking the selfies and he got in front of Bobby Lashley and Bobby Lashley's like arms crossed, not looking impressed at all. Austin Theory's like big old grin.
Yeah. Speaking of Austin Theory, I saw somebody had a TikTok video or something. They asked a bunch of wrestlers a bunch of questions. They asked them, what's the biggest bump he took? And he did say Elimination Chamber. He said, what's the hardest bump you've taken so far? He did say Elimination Chamber. I was like,
that he flew. He literally Brock Lesnar threw him.
Yeah. It was
Oh,
funny.
I
Yeah.
felt so bad for him, but
Yeah.
he took that bump like a champ.
But the other thing is, I noticed with the Elimination Chamber, not to like getting off subject, but like it was padded. That wasn't always padded. It was padded. I don't know if it was padded for the men's, but it was definitely padded for the women. The outside of the ring with the metal ground wasn't a steel cage on the bottom like it used to be. It was like blackness, like it was padded. So him falling there probably wasn't that bad. Yeah. Yeah, you have to go back and look at it. You'll see it was actually padded. The ground was actually padded. It looked like it was padded this time, which I understand is fine.
Well, he took that huge bump. He could have killed himself.
Oh, yeah, he definitely could have hurt himself. But then, I mean, how many times do you see somebody jump off the top of the steel cage onto somebody and you walk away?
Or like Kevin Owens jumping from the WrestleMania sign in the COVID era.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Yeah. Right.
And he broke his leg for his troubles.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I mean, WrestleMania, I mean, obviously it was like a big hype, and, we talked about Ezekiel, but I'm probably going to be the last time I talk about him because I refuse to talk about that.
Oh, I know. It's a lot.
So we'll see what goes on for next week. I think it's going to be interesting to see, definitely, like you said earlier, definitely with Rhea Ripley, maybe turning heel.
Yes.
That would
I hope she does.
Definitely see her right about that.
I think she's being misused.
Oh, yeah. I think she's been misused since she lost Romania versus Charlotte Flair.
Yeah,
I think that was just ridiculous. I don't know.
When she won against Asuka last WrestleMania, I was like, "Oh, they're gonna fuck this up."
Yeah, and they usually do. But
they did.
But okay. So, any last thoughts and last words you want to get out before we end this show today?
No, not really. Thank you for
we pretty much said everything. Yeah. Pretty much said everything.
Yeah, we've said everything. Thank you for listening.
Yes.
We hope you listen again.
Definitely listen again. We got some good ideas coming up. What we're going to do is pretty much our shows are pretty much we're going to do some news and notes, some our highs and lows. Also we may have some other skits here and there. We're also going to do some topics. What we're going to do is maybe do reviews of Raw and maybe it's AEW. We kind of pay attention to AEW, but we'll be honest with you, we do more WWE. I watch AEW a little bit. I like it. It's different, but the fact that I cannot be an AEW mark because two things. One, I don't know the words to Jericho's theme song, Judas. Two, I refuse to cheer for somebody because he put his hands in his pockets.
Oh, you talking about Orange Cassidy?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I can't be an AEW mark because I won't. I refuse to do. I don't know the words, and I refuse to cheer for somebody like this because he put his hands in his pockets. Are you kidding me? And I know the flip side of what you're saying. People cheering. Oh well, Rock only dropped the elbow, and everybody thought that was the greatest finisher of all time. Do you know what Roddy Piper's finishing move was?
Piper's Pit.
No, the sleeper.
No, what was it? Oh, was it the sleeper?
Yeah, the sleeper.
I always thought it was Piper's Pit.
You know what Jake the Tank Roberts' finishing move was?
It was kind of like a DDT, wasn't it?
A DDT, which is used 7-8 times every goddamn match nowadays.
Yeah.
So
I'm still a big fan of the Diamond Cutter.
Diamond Cutter or RKO is probably the best move of all time.
I agree. If I were a wrestler nowadays, if I was in my 20s and I was in good health and I wasn't 400 pounds, I would be Diamond Cutter would be the one I would rip off.
I love the Diamond Cutter. I love the Diamond. Well, RKO, bro. Well, the only thing is, the Diamond Cutter was the original plan, but I mean, I'll be honest with you, Randy took it to a whole new level when the way he pushed it out. I mean, Diamond Dallas Page, like I said, I watched it. The Diamond Dallas Page did it once in a while. He put it out of nowhere once in a while with the Diamond Cutter. But the way Randy does it and the way he works with the other guys, holy hell, man! They really know how to put that in the show, man. Just out of nowhere, it's beautiful.
It is.
Yeah, it is. But we're gonna have some fun. We got it for those who know about the March Madness tournament. We got a 64 wrestlers bracket that we're probably gonna do. That's probably gonna be a longer show, maybe 2 episodes. We'll probably do that in a little bit. And we're gonna have some topics too. Maybe we're gonna talk about Hall of Fame. Some guys we want in, some guys we want out. I'm gonna start hashtag Earl Hebner in Hall of Fame because how the hell is he not in the Hall of Fame? How the hell is Coco Beware in the Hall of Fame? And he is not in the Hall of Fame. This guy has been involved in more championship matches, more wrestling main events than probably Bruce Pritchard and JR almost. Because if JR was the commentator, it was Earl Hebner doing the match. And I understand there was some bad blood between, but then we're gonna have some ideas. We're talking about the Hall of Fame, about people who we think belong in. We're also going to talk. We actually may have a conversation about the women's division because it's not what it used to be.
I would like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they definitely had the women's division is not what it used to be. They used to be the women's division, like what, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe around 5 years ago, was bigger than the men's. They got their own pay-per-view.
Oh yeah,
they had their own pay-per-view. They had great. Now it's just like the Rumble every
they're
year.
an afterthought.
Yeah, the women's Rumble is still pretty good. Unfortunately, it's a lot of like cameos because they don't have any women nowadays, which was weird. Yeah, all those women in NXT, just give them the nod. Let them play around. Give them a little exposure. But I don't know. You keep bringing back Molly Holly, and then great job bringing back Molly Holly because everybody's looking at Nikki Ash and going, "I thought I saw this before, and I thought this looked familiar." Yeah, recycle. We also that's another topic. We talk about recycled storylines. That's something we can talk about.
Yeah.
I can't put my finger on Edge's.
Or recycled gimmicks.
Recycled gimmicks, another good one, yeah. But I can't put my finger on. I feel like I've seen Edge's new stable somewhere else. They're saying it's the Black Order in AEW.
Yes, House of Black.
House of Black, thank you. House of Black. House of Black. And they're saying it's the Wish version. If you ordered House of Black on Wish, that's the version you get. And I'm like, man, people are crazy, man. I'll tell you, man.
Yeah.
The other side note, I like about WrestleMania was the memes for the Chris Rock versus Will Smith.
Oh, that was funny.
And they had the picture of Denzel as the ref, and they had Jada,
Chris Rock and Will Smith.
And it had pictures of Jada
in the cage.
Yeah. And not too many people understand it. You gotta be an old school wrestler to know that stuff. That's old school right there.
Yeah, that was funny.
I think one of the matches was when Percy, which is Paul Bearer.
Paul Bearer.
I think he was in one of those cages one time for a match. I think I could be wrong. I gotta look it up. But yeah, or some of the WCW fans like Judy. What's her name? Judy Bagwell in a forklift match was when they put Bagwell's mom on a forklift and lift her up.
Oh my God,
that was the Vince Russo years of WCW. Yes, that was Vince Russo.
Money in the Bank 2017, I believe it was, where it was Carmella versus Asuka, and they put that kid there. What the hell was that guy's name?
Oh, he's her friend.
Yes, the one who wore the mask and screwed Asuka up.
What the heck? The one
James Ellsworth.
Thank you, Ellsworth. Yes, Ellsworth.
They put him in a cage. Remember?
Yeah, I do remember something like that. Yeah. Well,
they put him in a cage for Money in the Bank, and Carmella used the cage to bounce Asuka's head off it and pin her. Like, how do you lose to Carmella? Come on.
Like I said, all right, everybody. This was our first show. Thank you so much for listening. We were going to try to do these weekly. We're going to try to do weekly. With my work schedule, it might be a little hard. With her schedule, it might be a little hard. We're going to try our damnedest to do weekly shows. We do have a Facebook. We have a Facebook page, always Monday night on Facebook. We also have a email. I didn't tell her that.
No, I didn't tell
always me. Monday night at gmail.com. Our show is mostly through Spreaker.com, but it's going to also be distributed to iTunes, Spotify, and some other venues to put out. So obviously look for us there also. Hopefully we'll look to make sure it does work, because when we send this out, I'll definitely look to see if it happens. And we're definitely going to have some more topics, some more funs, and we're definitely going to have some fun, because I'm having an absolute ball. This is like one of my dreams come true. I don't know if you know this, but I've always wanted to have my own radio show. From being in Philadelphia, my biggest people were like Preston and Steve, which is a morning radio show in Philadelphia. It's been doing it for years, and that's like, it was kind of like my hero. I used to listen to them all the time. I don't listen to them as much as I used to, and I always wanted to do it. There was a point when I divorced my first wife, I wanted to do the Columbia School of Broadcasting to start doing this stuff. I never got a chance to, but now with the way things are nowadays, anybody can do a podcast. Please check us out. Please, if give us a like on our Facebook page. Hopefully, maybe we'll get a Twitter account also. But like I said, we're gonna have some topics coming up, and like I said, we're not part of the business. We're just doing this for fun. We're having our own opinions and just talking about the same thing you guys love, hopefully, and that's wrestling. So, everybody have a good night. Tina?
Have a good night.
Good night, Tina. We'll talk to you later. And everybody,
good night.
Good night, and stay safe, guys.
Love you. Bye.